both sides there to turn it on in the Coca-Cola State of Origin 2. David Manson, his 10th State of Origin reinstated. New South Wales' home game. Queensland would get the choice of referee. They've gone for David, and he blows time on. So in front of the Melbourne crowd at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, State of Origin 2 is off and running, and Larson is the first to bring it back, playing in his 20th consecutive Origin match tonight. And now the Maroons, they go on the right of the ground for Jason Smith to be hit and put down by Menzies and Terry Hill jointly. The third tackle of the game, Lamb drifting across, and then a pulverising tackle coming from Nick Kosef and also from Adam Muir. Tierney in the run-on side is put down just inside his own 40-metre line, and Bartram in 14, a dummy half, using Smith, commonly referred to as a small front rower. He tips the scales at 105 kilos as Bartram kicks from dummy half, and that will be an advantage of having him there early. Brasher comes away from inside his own 20-metre line. He's put down by the Maroons, 3 of them in all. One of them was the kicker, another was Coyne, and another New South Welshman is driven back in the defence of Robbie O'Davis that time.
And 2 great tackles from Robbie O'Davis. First one on Tim Brasher with the chase. A penalty now going to the New South Wales team. In fact, it's might be a forward pass here from Tuvey to Nick Kosef.
You'll find that it's a loose head and feed for the Maroons, Pete. David Manson's signal might have given the impression it was a penalty, but he was indicating the ball was propelled forward. The Maroons win the scrum as expected, and then it goes across from Aiken, and then through O'Davis. It goes loose, so Queensland with a little bit of stage fright in the opening exchange, as was the case with New South Wales. And it's Carroll now who takes it ahead on the short side to the 30-metre line. Tuvey a dummy half, a penalty, the first of the game, goes to New South Wales against the Queenslanders being inside the 10. So John Simon playing at half-back in 16. Packing into the scrum, of course, but he will be at first receiver. Tuvey playing at dummy half as Carroll is sent 35 metres away from the Maroons line. Good opportunity for the Blues on the second tackle and their first sight of enemy territory. They go away through Kosef, wide for McGregor, who put the ball over the stripe in the first one. He goes inside the 20, put down 15 away from the Queensland line. For Dimmick then to throw the dummy and then give it for Tuvey on the second occasion. Misunderstanding there. McGregor flick passes. New South Wales are over. McGuinness has gone in on the far side of the ground. It was all too simple. Ken McGuinness has gone over to score in his second Origin match.
Yes, and you'll find that it was young Stuart Kelly who's had an unfortunate start to this game who was at fault. They come one side, go back the other. And as we freeze play there, you can see that this man here, Stuart Kelly, stays out of the line as play continues. He hangs back, and that opened up an overlap. Finally, he has to come in. But Ken McGuinness, coming back on the inside, took advantage. He'd just been poleaxed in trying to make a tackle on Paul McGregor before that. Dropped in behind the line. By the time he came up, the damage had been done. And the elusiveness of both McGregor and Ken McGuinness took advantage of the situation perfectly.
Quite incredible, the New South Wales bench, that was their reaction. And now John Simon from 22 metres out. Well, what a start for the Blues. They had not been in Queensland's territory, and the first time they visited, they've come away with the 4 points. So Simon is offline. We've got points early in Origin 2, 4-0 New South Wales.
Julian O'Neill now on for the Maroons.
So Terry Hill stepping off his left foot, tries to angle back. Centre of the park, 22 metres out. And Dean Pay is also on. So Fairley and Pay both out there now for New South Wales. As it goes to Simon, he cuts out Fairley, picks up Dimmick, gives it inside for Menzies. Menzies, very keenly spotted by Queensland. Of course, there's no secret of the fact that Paul Vaughton admires him more than any other attacking footballer in the forwards. Fairley then putting New South Wales in a very strong position. They'll do well to hold them out, Queensland. Tuvey away for Kosef to go in. Kosef is over the line. The Blues are in again, and they lead 8 points to 0.
The quarter of the game is gone, and looking at the tackle counts, Queensland have been made to do twice as many tackles as their opponents, and eventually it's going to tell, and that will be on the scoreboard. Nick Kosef just getting on the outside there, some tired forwards. This all came about, of course, from Brett Dallas losing the football first tackle. Kosef getting outside Billy Moore. Moore went in, had to come back, couldn't recover in time, and the big fend from Kosef was a good one. But this had been coming for a couple of minutes. So much possession and pressure for the Blues.
Queensland defence really tested there. The respect that they have for Jeff Tuvey's dummy half running game. I mean, he's probably established himself, whilst he's a halfback in his own club, as the best dummy half runner in the game. And you saw that 3 Queensland players there on their own line really angled themselves in towards him, and that allowed him to get the ball on to Nick Kosef, wrong-footed the defence and slide over for a nice try.
It's quite amazing, that tackle count. 75 tackles made by Queensland, a mere 36 by New South Wales.
So John Simon will attempt a conversion, unsuccessful the first time. This time he hits it much better, and it's straight between the uprights. And Tuvey it is with a darting run that sees him able to unload. And supporting was Pay, so was Terry Hill. He's the ball carrier, Terry Hill, and he's put down 40 metres away from the Queensland line. 5 gone. Simon is there. They put it through the hands for Dimmick. Dimmick holding it back, draws the defence in. McGregor's with it. McGregor to McGuinness. McGuinness gets it inside for Dimmick. Dimmick's over. Try number 3. The Blues are ripping them apart at the MCG.
Beautiful attacking play there by New South Wales on the last tackle. I do think it was a defensive mistake on the outside by the Queensland winger to come in. Jim Dimmick here, good vision. Picks up McGregor with the long pass. And as we freeze it there, you can see that Matty Singh, he makes the decision to come in on McGregor. I thought that maybe McGregor may have been covered on the inside, but Singh decides to come in. It was one of those options. Julian O'Neill, he got a little bit of a checkered passage, and Jim Dimmick, who really instigated the try with the long cutout pass, did well to stay alive and be there to take the pass back on the inside. The last tackle indeed signalled. They busted them on the other side. Dimmick on to McGregor. He's just having a wow of a game, McGregor. Matty Singh comes in to make the tackle. Julian O'Neill, he just got clipped in running. That stopped him from being able to get across and cover. And Dimmick celebrates along with Tim Brasher. And now it's a real mountain for Queensland to climb.
It certainly is. It might not be an impossibility, but you'd rather be rolling down the other side, wouldn't you? Jim Dimmick, he methodically put that try together and then finished it off.
Might be a bit harsh there on Matt Singh. It's one of those decisions to come in or to stay. I just think by coming in, John Simon unsuccessful with the kick, he just made it a little bit harder for the support players to get across.
And taken by Ben Eichen. Then it's a cross from Goddard, and this is O'Davis, and here's this long pass on the bounce for Brett Dallas, and Dallas is banged down. He's a metre out from the line, and Mark Coyne trying to push away the Blues players as they go on the left of the ground. Smith, and then for Lamb, away then for Eichen. Billy Moore out very wide. Then Matt Singh comes back in and puts it over the line. There's the first try for the Queenslanders. The start of the resurgence. 33rd minute and 14-4.
To be any chance in this game, they had the score before half-time, and they did it well going wide. Just have a look at the angle of the try scorer. As we freeze it there, you can see McGuinness is going across. He's expecting the man to stay on the outside, but all of a sudden, as play continues, Matt Singh surprises him by coming straight. Ran straight into the hole. He was well covered, but his opposite man overread the situation. Billy Moore has been very, very dangerous out wide. And Ben Eichen, they started to play a little bit straighter, and that pass was there. McGuinness, well, his man was gone by the time he'd reacted.
Well, that's exactly the line you want to run. Matty Singh knows this line. He realises they've been sliding across and swallowing them up, but he comes hard and straight back against the sliding defence. And he's only running at arms there, and with the strength and speed, he's able to force his way through. And that and the Billy Moore break earlier in the game were both off the same angle run and should be a wake-up to Queensland. But that's the angle they have to attack this New South Wales defensive line. Not long passes to get around it, but come back hard against the slide.
Just on Matt Singh, Phil, we've grown accustomed to him in the headgear. Missing tonight is some good news that we need to know about.
No, there was never any reason for it. I think he just wore it for the sake of wearing it.
Julian O'Neill then hooking it away, and no addition to the Queensland score. 14-4 then.
I'm just wondering whether Matt Singh could have brought the ball around closer. He runs the try in, and as he goes through McGuinness, he does have a little bit of a look around, but it did take a while for any New South Wales covered defender to appear. I thought that he might have been able to gobble up a few more metres.
And looking at the conversion attempt, it would have been most advantageous. The conversion attempt from O'Neill, unsuccessful. But it has got the Queenslanders on the board, and that's what they needed to do more than anything. 14-4. The restart sees Coyne putting Craig Smith back to the 30-metre line. Half-time is just under 4 minutes away. This is Clinton O'Brien reaching the 40-metre line with Kosef over the top of Carroll. Then from Goddard for Lamb. And on the left of the ground, Jason Smith. And then put down by Ben Eichen. And referee David Manson will rule a knock-on took place. And New South Wales will get an opportunity just in front of half-time.
It was a nice reply by Matt Singh over on the left-hand side there for the try. They've been given an awful time by Paul McGregor and Ken McGuinness, so he'll just tick that one as one to get back at them. And Queensland changing their arms straight away. Important set of 6 in defence here. They don't want to concede one before half-time and destroy the advantage they got of that try. They've got the ball. That's a beauty.
Robbie O'Davis has got himself between Jim Dimmick and Tim Brasher. And that is very important possession with the ball played by Jeremy Sloss.
He's in rare form, isn't he, Robbie O'Davis? It was an Australian side pick tonight. Both he and Brasher would have to be in it. Queensland now getting some momentum.
Sloss is tackled. He's about 28 metres away from the New South Wales line. And half-time a couple of minutes away for Clinton O'Brien to get a one-hander out the back. Good work by him. Goddard's pass has gone on through 2 sets of hands for Adrian Lamb. The ball comes loose. They still go for it. That's Ben Eichen. He's 2 metres out from the line.
Numbers to the right.
Jason Smith then. Away on the right. It's with Lamb. Lamb comes across and he puts O'Davis over. O'Davis is over. Queensland are in for another. 14 points to 8.
They'll never write them off. And Adrian Lamb, once he starts running to the line and drawing defenders, anything can happen. New South Wales starting to get a little bit carefree with some passing. We saw a flick pass from Adam Muir earlier. Jim Dimmick just trying to offload too much. Adrian Lamb, he runs across. He opens the gap up, and again, it was the angle of the run from Robbie O'Davis. Terry Hill desperately wanted to stay out. The number 4 jersey, there he is. He wants to stay out on his man. And again, as was the case with McGuinness on the other side, he's pointing for the players on the inside to come up with the tackle on O'Davis. It was big man on little man. Paul Harrigan couldn't hang on to O'Davis. And all of a sudden, we've got a ball game.
With Adrian Lamb, just to show his face when he delivers that ball.
Well, nobody deserved to try more than Robbie O'Davis. Look at this diminutive Newcastle, Queensland full-back. And I'm just looking at some of the stats here to find out how many times he's had the ball in his hands. It must be certainly up near double figures. As Julian O'Neill looking for the extras and gets them. A further 2 points to Queensland and 14 points to 10. So Ben Eichen has put that ball down into vacant space. It stays there before Brasher arrives. Coyne came from an onside position, apparently. And there's the halftime siren in the background. So we're going to halftime with a ball game back on the menu. It was looking bleak, wasn't it? For Queensland, New South Wales led 14 points to 0. And Queensland, in the last 7 minutes coming up to the break, are back to 14 to 10.
We are in for an absolute treat.
The champion goal through the air.
Oh! He does!
there. What? That's unbelievable. It's everything you wanted and more. Golf's holy grail.
When tennis champion Pat Cash won Wimbledon, his checkered headband was almost as famous as he was.
I loved my hair then, still do, and that's why I'm seeing Advanced Hair Clinic. Their amazingly effective treatments have stopped my hair loss and regenerated hair where I was losing it. And I'm confident I will now maintain my full head of hair. Advanced Hair Clinic. They're the world champions in hair restoration.
Call Advanced Hair Studio now.
Man, the way they came back. What did he say? I'm in a calm mood because I expect to win and win comfortably. It hasn't been that comfortable so far. Will he be proven right as we go into the second stanza? And Dimmick, one of the New South Wales try scorers, playing the ball. First set of 6 in the new half. And the breeze fractionally behind New South Wales for this second 40 minutes as Carroll plays it on the second. Tuvey runs a few paces, links up with Harrigan, and Harrigan has put down 37 metres away from his line. Tuvey keeps it going on the left of the ground for Kosev this time. Kosev able to unload. Tuvey comes back, looking for runners on his right. They were going the other way, Brasher in particular. He's a dummy half as they go left for Carroll now to complete the tackle count on this one. They're just 7 or 8 metres into Queensland's area, trailing by 4 points, the Maroons. The kick is up and coming back down in the in goal for Dallas, who'll have to bring it back. He's got some work to do. He's got the pace on his side. Can he make it? Can he make it? Yes, he can. Dallas gets it back for the Maroons. O'Davis is there to bring it away.
Every right to get an ovation from the bench there too, Brett Dallas. It looked as though he had too much work to do. I had a question mark on the chasers for New South Wales. But those kind of little incidents in a match can change the course of a game.
This is Clinton O'Brien. Back. They came off the feet of the dummy half. No knock on. Lamb then. Away for Jason Smith to give it back for Lamb. And he's been in everything, Adrian Lamb, tonight.
Yeah, I think it's a very important 40 minutes in the career of Adrian Lamb. He must know, with all due respect to his teammates, the Queensland State of Origin prospects rely on him. He really has to get into the game. He knows that he's the one that's going to have to execute the plays, and I really believe he's up to it at this stage.
So New South Wales coming away off their own 20-metre line. This is Ken McGuinness, who was over the line for a sensational try 3 minutes into the game. He thought all his birthdays had come at once, and he's only had, I think, 21 of them. Now Tuvey approaching the halfway line. Kosev with a short ball. Muir was there to support, and then Tuvey likewise before Simon. And Simon is there and pulled down. Trevor Gilmister on the sideline. What can you tell us from the Queensland sheds?
Well, Fatty said, as we said earlier, not to go too wide too early. Make the yards first and then go wide. And I suppose the worst thing for Queensland was the half-time break, because they're all over him towards the end of that first half.
Now we've got a problem with Jim Dimmick as O'Davis again came out of that exchange on top, and this is O'Neill flirting with the sideline. He's submitted and plays it on the 30-metre line.
I think that's an important substitution for Queensland. Julian O'Neill going to left centre. Stuart Kelly was in awful trouble against Paul McGregor, and Julian O'Neill, being a named player, will just put Paul McGregor on notice.
On the 40-metre line. And this is O'Brien. Met by Kosev. One-on-one. Head on. Good stuff. Then from Goddard. Into the hands. And then onto the boot of Ben Ikin. And he kicks on the far side of the ground. Turning Brasher around. Did well in the deep, Brasher. And then confronted by the flankers for the Maroons. And they're back inside their own 20-metre line, the New South Wales side, with Ainscough coming away. Steve Roach, what about the New South Wales sheds?
Well, Tom Rudonikas reminded the New South Welshmen that the Queenslanders will not lay down. He said their defence out wide is pretty ordinary. You've got to keep going there with numbers. They've had to do a lot of tackles too, so expect Jeff Tuvey to run a lot more from dummy half. He said don't fall into the trap of trying to force the footy early in the tackle count. That was their biggest problem in the last 10 minutes of the first half.
Well, you just saw two big men come together, Harrigan and Larson. Larson has gone limping away from making the head-on tackle. The last now for the Blues, and Simon puts it out on the full. That'll give the Queenslanders a good shot at them.
Jim Dimmick leaves the field, and Matt Sears, the utility player from North Sydney, gets some game time now. That'll mean a reshuffling in the New South Wales lineup as Queensland through Jamie Goddard take it over the 40-metre line, centre field.
That offload, there's Clinton O'Brien hobbling away. I think Gary Larson would like to have done the same, but they can ill afford to be without him. And even in the pain from that injury I described, he was able to get that ball away for Goddard. Now Lamb, and Lamb sets himself to turn it back on the inside, something that Phil Gould thinks they've got to do more of. Jason Smith playing it, Goddard sweeping it, Lamb running it straight ahead and pulled down there in a confrontation with Brasher. The Queensland side is 10 metres away from the line as Jason Smith gets a floating pass away for Dallas. He's over! Dallas is in! Fortin goes up, the Queenslanders go up, and it's 14-all.
All the redheads are up. Jason Smith, a good ball out to Brett Dallas, but he's got to do it all himself, Dallas. What about the in and out? Totally bamboozled his opposite man. Marvellous work. Adrian Lamb, he just reminded the defence that he can run the football. He doesn't have to pass it. And now as Jamie Ainscough comes up, Brett Dallas, so strong, such good evasion, he puts one on his opposite man. Jason Smith, he was concussed in the first half. That's a plus for Vaughton, that he can come back out and play some sort of role in the remainder of the game. But Brett Dallas, he was given the ball in a pressure situation and he's come up trumps.
Yeah, the key for this is the fact that Queensland now carry 2 ball players in their side. Adrian Lamb, New South Wales, he turned the ball inside on one play, ran it forward very quickly on the next play, and the relaxation in the New South Wales defence says, well, right, we've put pay to him. Suddenly Jason Smith bobs up on the short side. The defence is caught napping, and that's the beauty of having ball players in your team. It's not necessarily the key man that's going to do it, but he can create the space and the time and the field position for the next man to take over. And Jason Smith put the ball in the hands of probably the quickest and most dangerous player on the field. He did the rest. And Julian O'Neill, what a season it's been for him. He gets the chance to sneak the Queenslanders in front.
What are the odds, Ravi?
From there,
mate.
for Julian. He's very unpredictable.
Yes, you're right.
Mate, I'll bet you 6-4 if you want it. Here he is from near the touch line. He's way offline. You can have 5-2 now. 35 metres away from the Maroons line. From Simon, they go for Menzies out wider. We haven't seen a lot of Steve Menzies with freedom. Now Brasher tries to hurt them. Terry Hill is tackled 20 metres away from the Queensland line. Now with McGregor. Oh, he loses it. And then Simon appears to... Oh, he said play on! He said play on!
Tackle.
What a tackle that was! It was Stuart Kelly. Now, Simon, they're waving on the right of the ground. McGregor! I don't think he's got it down. He's held up in goal.
Well, I'm still amazed at the decision by the referee to call play on. I just thought it was a double knock on. McGregor, well, I guess that one's gone back in the referee's mind. Have a look at Stuart Kelly on Matt Sears. It's a corker. And this isn't far behind it either. Queensland, all hands on deck. 4 players.
Tremendous effort there by Matty Singh on the bigger man, McGregor. He gave him plenty of trouble in the first half offloading the ball, but he's come up with an absolute perler there to not only stop McGregor scoring the try, but lock it up and hold him up in the in goal.
Takes it to the 40-metre line. Tooby now starting to take the harness off, starting to run like he did late in the match at Suncorp. Simon, Fairley, across the ground. Sears held by the back of the jumper. Fairley there to support a second time. McGregor, then McGuinness, and McGuinness is pulled down by Matt Singh. Last tackle again, 25 out. And Simon goes for the drop goal. It's wide, isn't it? He's got the hand up. He's given it.
He's got it.
David Manson said fair goal. 15-14. New South Wales in front. Told to play the ball. Kelly gets it away. O'Neill pushes it on. Billy Moore is with it. Shovels it down for Craig Smith. He gets it back for Jason Smith. Then it is taken to ground. And they play the ball inside the 20-metre line. Robbie O'Davis. Then it's gone from Billy Moore. Back for Adrian Lamb. And the little fellow tries to duck under the tackles. On 5. The dummy half is Goddard. He's looking for O'Neill. No, it's Robbie O'Davis. He tries to level it up. And it's been touched in flight. So he's ordered the turnover to New South Wales.
I don't understand the play. I don't understand what 15-all does for you. It can't win you the series. New South Wales are the holders of the shield. And it's let New South Wales off light, I believe.
Just into New South Wales area, trailing by a point. Queensland. Lamb into the hands of O'Neill. O'Neill floating it. Ben Ikin enjoying playing. Oh! McGregor has gone high on Matt Singh. And David Manson calling McGregor across. And the New South Wales trainers have been called in as well.
Well, I've got to say, I'm not thinking of the tackle here at the moment. I'm thinking of whether Queensland have got a kicker who can put them one in front from 38 metres out, 8 metres in from the sideline.
You can bet your bottom dollar that Julian O'Neill will have the confidence to do it.
Well, David Manson's helped him here. He's taken the play 10 metres in from touch. That tackle was right on the sideline. David Manson has now given Wayne Bartram, or is it Julian O'Neill, a chance. And Julian O'Neill is no stranger to last-minute wins through his boot from the sideline.
Matt Singh back on the inside. I was just praising the defence of Paul McGregor only moments ago. The wrong footing of Matt Singh. He was taken very high by the big centre. Queensland bench. Well, Chris Close, he wants New South Wales to finish with 12.
Yes, I think Chris was remembering that David Manson did send a player off last year.
Chris Close wanted him off. Fatty Borton was immediately looking for a kicker.
Well,
what about this?
It's probably fair to say that Julian O'Neill, of all players, has got State of Origin #2 and the series in his hands or on that right foot. There it goes. It's coming around. Has it got the length? No, it fell short. It fell short. The coach's face fell short at the same time. 38 metres out from his own line. Jason Smith across. Julian O'Neill. Ben Ikin is taken out of it. McGregor's tackle and the ball comes loose. Manson orders a knock on.
They've been courageous, Queensland. But really the New South Wales defence, when it's been most important, has come up with the big plays, forcing errors. They've been strong in the latter 30 minutes of this game. I really think this game changed when Adrian Lamb had to leave the field with his ankle injury. Queensland lost their momentum. New South Wales steadied the ship. And in the last 30 minutes have come up with a field goal to retain the trophy. The two great games, two great State of Origin games. 2 points the first one, 1 point the second one. And congratulations to all players and all coaches.
And we can rest assured that Queensland will be trying to put a big push on this. I think it was more the case when it was originally fed by Tuvey. This time, though, New South Wales safely with it. Tuvey still barking instructions, and fairly predictable they are. On the 40-metre line, played by Adam Muir. The siren has sounded. Sears takes it to ground. And the State of Origin, the Coca-Cola State of Origin for 1997, has been won by New South Wales 2-0. 8-6 at Suncorp and 15-14 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.